Hello and welcome everybody to the Your Parent Partner channel. If you are a parent, caregiver, auntie who's raising everybody's child, which is what I was doing before I had my own, a bonus mom, a grandmother, or just somebody who loves a young person and wants to do right by them, you are in the right place. My name is Kiana Shaw Tatum, and I want to personally welcome you to my channel. This space that I have created is for parents who love their children deeply, right? But sometimes you feel overwhelmed, confused, frustrated, hurt, exhausted, just plain stuck. Like, do you see yourself yet? Right? And if we could be real for a second, we know, I think mentally we all know that a lot of parents love their children, but love by itself does not automatically give you strategy. It does not give you the language or the tools that you need. It definitely does not automatically tell you what to do when your child is shutting down or maybe talking back or acting out or pulling away or sneaking or lying, struggling with their confidence. I'm trying to think of all the things that I'm dealing with my clients and their children and even my own child sometimes. So with my child glued to the phone or acting like you're the problem because you asked them to rinse a dish or clean the bathroom. So if that has been your life lately, welcome. You are amongst your people. Let me just say it like that. This channel is called Your Parent Partner because that is exactly how I want to show up. Not as somebody sitting here judging you, not as somebody pretending that parenting is easy, because I am very much aware that it is not. I'm parenting, I'm bonus parenting, like it's a thing, okay? And I'm not here as somebody who is giving you robotic, unrealistic, chat GPT created, Pinterest perfect advice that sounds nice but falls apart the minute you or your child, get into it and somebody's rolling their eyes and slamming doors, and that might not be your kid, that might be you, okay? So I want to be your partner in this work. I want to help you think more clearly, respond more effectively, communicate more intentionally, and build stronger relationships with your children without losing yourself or your voice or your boundaries or your mind. All right. Because parenting is sacred work. Like, can we disagree on that? It is sacred work, but let's not play games. It is also ghetto as hell sometimes, okay? And if nobody has told you lately, let me be the one, okay? So let me tell you, this channel exists because too many parents are trying to figure out serious situations in isolation. They're trying to navigate disrespect, emotional shutdowns, anxiety, low confidence, social media influence, identity struggles, hygiene battles, which like will make me go crazy because why do we not smell the best? Body image issues, school frustrations, lack of responsibility, entitlement issues, parent guilt, co-parenting stress. I personally am doing my best to co-parent felony free, right? Like if you get it, like drop a message in the chat. um, I want to help you with those difficult conversations about sex and safety and boundaries and self-respect and the feeling that somehow everybody expects you to know exactly what to do without ever having been taught. Because for real, there is no parent manual. And every time somebody tried to create one, I was going to create one myself. And then the rules of the game changed. Why? Because my daughter came home and was like, this is the new thing for me. And that's the new thing for me. And I don't do that anymore. And that's not my favorite color anymore. And you just like, what? Like I just did your room in your favorite color, and now those aren't your favorite colors. So you want your no, I'm not redoing it. And a lot of parents were never parented in the way that they are now trying to parent. Some of us are trying to give our kids things that we never had: attention, love, a voice, right? And a lot of parents were raised on survival and silence, fear, chaos, control, inconsistency, or emotional distance. Let me know if you see yourself. Drop it in the chat. And now here we are trying to raise emotionally healthy children while also healing parts of ourselves. This is no small assignment. Okay. So this channel exists to help you close that gap. And I'm excited to be here and help you do that without shame, without guilt, without finger pointing, but with truth, right? Like that's the important part, to have the truth of it all, um, with tools, with perspective, right? With strategy, compassion, and yet sometimes with a little side eye because some of this stuff out here is absolutely ridiculous. And you'll find that on this channel, you're going to talk about the real things that parents deal with. We are going to not just be, deal with the cute stuff, like not just inspirational quotes. Sometimes, I might come on here and while I'm teaching, I might start crying because the reality is everybody struggles through parenting in one way or another. And it may not be an everyday struggle, but on the day that I'm struggling and I still need to go live and be here with you guys, I'm going to show up with the real. Okay. So we're going to do the real stuff here or as your parent partner. Okay. And we're going to talk about communication because so many homes are struggling, not just because there is no love, but because there is poor communication. And I heard this morning that I think it said 98% of the population think they know how to communicate, right? And so we have to understand the difference between talking and communicating. Everybody's talking, nobody feels heard, everybody has an attitude, everybody is defensive, everybody's assuming that someone is coming with bad intent. And then folks are shocked that the house feels tense all the time. We are going to talk about how to communicate with our children in a way that is clear, firm, healthy, and productive, not passive, not explore, not explosive, not confusing, but very clear. Okay. And we're going to talk about mother-daughter relationships, father-son relationships, like just whatever I can talk about. I'm not a dad, right? I am a woman parenting a little girl. And so dads, thank you for showing up and I will give you the best advice that I can. Okay. Um, so we're going to talk about these relationships, and this is one of the deepest passions in my work, helping parents and their children rebuild trust and improve communication, increase understanding, and create healthier emotional connection without throwing boundaries out the window and without throwing our hands up like forget it all, right? Because a strong relationship is not built by letting your child do whatever they want. And it's not built by controlling every breath that they take either. There has to be wisdom in the middle of all of that. And so we're going to talk about confidence and identity because if a child does not know who they are, the world will be more than happy to tell them. Social media, their peers, the music they listen to, the trends that they're following, the trauma that they've experienced, the pain will all tell them. It'll all tell them, and the attention that they get will all tell them who they are if we don't, right? And so um, long before this moment, right, you were probably dealing with any of these behaviors, and you're probably currently dealing with identity confusion, insecurity, performance confidence, or I'm sorry, performative confidence, approval addiction, right? Like, did they like all my comments? Did they like my posts? Right? Self-worth that rises and falls based on the likes and the attention and the validation, or whether someone texts back. So yes, we are going to go there. We are also going to talk about digital safety and social media. If I can, I'll pull in Cyber Farida because she is absolutely amazing with social media and digital safety. Because let's just go ahead and say it. These phones are raising some children right alongside the parents, right? And sometimes the phones are louder than the parents. And we're going to discuss things like healthy phone boundaries, device agreements, online behavior, digital discernment. Like all these things are going to be a part of our thing. Okay. We're going to talk about predators and how they groom and the secrecy that is used on these phones and how sextortion, I was about to say sexploitation, but sextortion awareness is something that I'm going to bring awareness to because it is happening, particularly with young boys. Like there was a spike during COVID of sextortion, and I want you guys to know what you need to know and how to respond when something goes wrong. and how to stop being intimidated by technology just because your child clicks faster than you. Like, and I listen, I say that as the person who will take my phone to the mall and find the nearest 16-year-old and be like, can you do this for me? Okay. So fast fingers do not equal wisdom. And so we're going to make sure that we are covering all the bases, and that includes emotional wellness, not the watered down version, not, we're talking about the real version. Her emotions show up as attitude, her fear shows up as anger. Yeah, we're going to talk about how insecurity shows up as arrogance and sadness as withdrawal. Like, you understand how this is? Like, you might be looking at your daughter going, she's withdrawing, but really she's sad. She's defensive, but really she has shame, right? And so we're going to talk about how overwhelm shows up as disrespect and procrastination or complete shutdown. Because a lot of parents are trying to correct behavior without understanding what may be sitting underneath it. Now, hear me clearly, because understanding behavior does not mean excusing harmful behavior. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm going to say that again because some folks hear compassion and immediately think boundaries got canceled. And that's not the case. Understanding behavior does not mean that we are excusing harmful behavior. It means responding with more wisdom. And we're also going to talk about those hard conversations: sex, body image, hygiene, self respect, boundaries, friendships, dating, emotional regulation, and even preparing our children to make wise decisions, because silence is not a strategy, it's a cop out. Avoidance is not a strategy, it's a cop out. And hoping that they will just figure it out is how a lot of families end up in a preventable mess. So we're not copping out. Okay, so let's talk about who this channel is for. This channel is for the parent who wants help but does not want to be talked down to. I'm not going to talk down to you. This channel is for the parent who is trying, and for the parent who is open to learning, and is the parent who's tired, and the parent who loves hard. I don't believe that all parents are overprotective. I think that protection itself is just protection. And overprotection is a word thrown around a lot because people are uncomfortable with how we protect our children. But we're still going to talk about it. All right. This page is for the parent who knows something has to shift, and they're looking for an answer. And this is for the parent who wants better relationship with their child, but also knows that relationship has to include structure and wisdom and accountability, right? So I'm going to say this channel is mostly for mothers of teen girls because, again, I'm a mom with a teen daughter. It's mostly for parents navigating emotional distance and caregivers that are trying to build retrust, or I'm sorry, rebuild trust, not build retrust. But it's also for parents who want better conversations at home and are trying to lead with both love and boundaries, because that those things create an avenue for us to have long-term successful relationships with our kids. So if you're a parent realizing that what worked for your child at 7 is not working at 13, 15, 17, and like those kids have opinions and hormones and a Wi-Fi signal, this is the page for you. This is the channel for you. So I know your child is different now, and that means that your approach has to grow, right? Um, and that is not failing. That is parenting, because parenting does not look like the same thing all the time. All right. What makes this I keep saying page, but what makes this channel different is it's not just inspiration. It's not instruction. I love encouragement. I love hope. I love reminding parents that they are not alone. But I also believe that people need actual tools. So when you come here, I want you leaving with something you can use: a question to ask, a conversation starter, a strategy, a framework, a mindset shift, a practical step, something real. I do not just want to tell you, be patient. I want to help you understand what patience looks like, and when your child what patience looks like when your child is defensive, and what it should look like to get your child comfortable, right? I do not want just to, let me see. I don't want to just say like communicate better. I want to show you how to structure hard conversations in a way that does not immediately end in drama or denial or somebody storming off or, somebody yelling like, you just never understand me. Like, you know what I mean? Because if we just being honest, that is very real with our kids these days, right? And so I just want to tell you, that I'm here for it all. I'm not going to just tell you to watch your child's phone. I want to help you understand what to watch for. What are the warning signs? How to set up boundaries and how to create a household culture where safety is not based on fear, but on information and knowledge, right? Like not just information, but knowledge, meaning I understand that a tomato is a fruit, right? That is information. Knowledge is knowing it don't go on fruit salad, okay? And I want this channel to feel human. Like that's really important to me. You do not need another voice talking at you like a textbook with lip gloss. Although my lip gloss is popping, I just got this from Juicy Tubes. It's a Lancome. So I know you need someone who can tell you the truth, make it plain, and help you move forward. That is what I want this space to be. And so, as you are navigating through this channel, I want you, um, I want you to know, like right now, I think a lot of parents need to hear that you're not crazy. You're not crazy for being concerned or needing support or for you're not failing just because parenting feels hard today or this week or this month, or maybe it's been feeling really hard for the last couple of years. I don't know. But a lot of parents have been made to feel like if their child is struggling or acting out or resisting or pulling away, then they must be doing something very wrong. And that's not always true. Sometimes you're dealing with developmental changes. Sometimes you're dealing with peer pressure or trauma, grief, social media influence, identity struggles. You might be dealing with school stress or emotional immaturity, environmental shifts, family transitions, right? Like from death or divorce or marriage, or things your child does not even yet have the language to explain. We think that because they're 17, they should have the language, and they don't. So, no, every hard season is not proof that you're a bad parent. But, and here comes the loving truth, as I'll call it, hard seasons are invitations to get more intentional. And so that's where we are. This is where many parents miss it. They either blame themselves for everything or they blame the child for everything. And usually the truth is more layered than that. Um, Sometimes the answer is your child needs more support. Sometimes it's that the approach needs an adjustment. Sometimes it's your family needs more tools or some tools if they don't have any, if you guys don't have any. And so that's why this channel exists. We are building here. And I don't want this to just be another YouTube channel you watch when you are upset and then you forget about it. I want this to be a space where you get real support, a space where you learn, feel seen, get the language you need, grow in confidence, and where families get stronger. So, as this channel grows, you can expect content around things like how to talk to your child in a way that they actually hear you, how to discipline without constant power struggles, the difference between authoritative discipline and gentle parenting and permissive parenting. We're going to learn all of that. Um, we're going to talk about how to rebuild trust after conflict and how to help your teenagers build confidence, set boundaries, in a digital space, support emotional wellness at home. And there'll be moments where I am direct because some things need directness, but loving our children well requires softness sometimes. And it also requires clarity, courage, consistency, all the things, right? And so, um, We're going to move away from the that's just how we are that has kept families stuck, right? We're going to move into we are intentional about moving forward, and this is where we are going to be. So here's your invitation, because I want this to be a space where you resonate, right? Where you're like, this is for me. I want to invite you into this community. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on your notifications. And most importantly, engage. Share with someone, right? But share it because you're like, hey, this video is really good. But then make sure that before you share, that you leave comments and that you ask questions. I will take questions and I will answer them in another video, right? So I don't have to call out your name. You could be anonymous or you could be like, here go all my information because I want to make sure you're talking to me. Either way is fine. But I want you to share topics that you want covered. Tell me what conversations are hard in your house right now. Um, Tell me what you need help with, where you feel stuck, because I do not want this to be one directional. I want this to be useful. We're talking actual tools, right? So let me say this, do not be embarrassed to need help. Please do not let pride keep you stuck in patterns that are hurting your relationship with your child. Too many parents wait until things are exploding before they reach out and get support. But wisdom says get support where there is still room to strengthen what matters. All right. And if things already feel messy, guess what? Messiness is not hopeless. Complicated is not hopeless. Frustrating is not hopeless. And distance is not always permanent. It might feel it in a moment, but it's not always permanent. But ignoring what needs attention, that right there will keep people stuck. Okay. So before I close, I want to leave you with this. Your child does not need a perfect parent, they just need a willing parent, a learning parent, grounded parent, a parent who is humble enough to grow and know that they don't need everything, a parent who is strong enough to lead and then still thoughtful enough to listen, right? A parent who is wise enough to know that love and boundaries belong together. You do not have to know everything. You just have to you don't even have to get everything right, but you do have to get the support you need. You don't have to parent without support. But you do need to stay engaged. You do need to stay honest. You do need to be willing to be transparent. And you need to stay committed to growing into the parent your child needs in the season that they are in now, not the season they were before. Because that 17-year-old needs something very different than the 7-year-old. Because children change and their needs change, and pressure changes, and culture changes, and what is normal changes, and what is right can change or at least seem to change, right? We have to be willing to grow. So, again, welcome to your parent partner. I don't have my clapper. I wish I had my clapper. I would do my own soundtrack, right? But welcome to your parent partner. I'm glad you're here. I'm excited for what we're going to build together. And I truly hope this channel becomes a place that helps you feel stronger, clearer, wiser, more supported in your parenting journey. If this message spoke to you, make sure you subscribe. Again, subscribe. You can share it, right? Go ahead, share with a couple people. Share with a parent who needs it, and then drop a comment letting me know that you're here. All right, I would appreciate that. You don't have to give me a full story about yourself, but just tell me like, "Hey, thanks. I'm here. I'm riding with you." Tell me where you're watching from, though. Right? I would love to at least get your state. You don't have to narrow it down any further than that. How old is your child? I would love to know that. And then tell me like the number one parenting topic you want to discuss on this channel. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care of yourself. Keep showing up because this work matters and so do you. And until we meet again, drink your water, eat your vegetables, take your vitamins, and mind your business. All right. Talk to y'all later.